Hello, my name is Shirley Self, and I'm here to talk astrology. And I was going through my charts the other day, and I came across Rupert Murdoch. And it occurred to me to wonder, why does he hate the United States so much? So I started to kind of investigate that, and in my investigations, or going through my Janus 5 charts, I found Rush Limbaugh. And I thought, whoa, there's another one that is did his best to disrupt, and I think he hated the United States. So I decided to kind of investigate them. And here they are. Here's Rush Limbaugh. Here's Rupert Murdoch over here. We'll talk about him in a minute. But I've already done his chart for you. He's a moon phase 22. The height of the intellect, the king that needs to abdicate and do something useful. And he hasn't yet, and he's 90. So, and Rush Limbaugh is a moon phase 5, who is a rabble-rouser at least. I don't mean to badmouth moon phase 5, even though Mitch McConnell is a moon phase 5. The Dalai Lama is a moon phase 5. There are people here to make a difference for their people. They fight for their people, their tribe, you might say. And I don't know whose tribe Rush Limbaugh belongs to, but he definitely beat the drums for, well, he hated the revolution that was going on in the 60s and 70s. I think it traumatized him. Anyway, let's look at Limbaugh here. He's got a sun here in Capricorn in the 12th house. And a sun in the 12th house tends to feel powerless. He's a 1 degree Aquarius rising, and Aquarius risings tend to feel different, often alienated. And you see this Chiron up here in the, it's in 27 Sagittarius, which is in the house of, well, it's the Aquarius house. So if you put Chiron there, and that's alienation. And it's in Sagittarius, so there's a lack of faith in himself. Here we've got a Mars in Aquarius, Jupiter at 7 Pisces, North Node in Pisces here, conjunct the Moon, 23 Pisces, Fortune here at 3 Aries, Uranus at 7 Cancer, it's retrograde, Pluto at 19 Leo, it's retrograde. The South Node in Virgo in the 8th house, yay. And Saturn here at 2 Libra, retrograde, Neptune at 20 Libra. Up here we've got, somebody, you know, if, this is Juno. And we've got Juno in Scorpio up there in the 10th house. And where you find Juno, you're going to find difficulties in relationship, in unequal relationships, cheating in relationships, disillusionment at least in relationships, difficulties. You know, Juno was married to Zeus, and he was busy fertilizing everybody, and it really upset her. So we've got the faithless partner up there, and it's right on his midheaven. So the world has let him down. The world has let him down. And you've got Chiron up there. The world has really let him down. He's got this Venus in the first house, I think, considering, you know, we've got Pluto over here, Uranus over here, the heavy-duty ones over there in the houses of other people. I think he was probably bullied as a child and grew up to be a bully. Rush Limbaugh. Oh, and let me give you his data here. 12 January 1951, Cape Girardeau in Missouri. So he's got this moon, and the North Node is conjunct the moon, which means that if you've got the North Node conjunct the moon, it means you're supposed to straighten that up there. Do right by that. which means he's using his South Node, and we know he did. His South Node in Virgo, criticism, heavy duty, deep, and he's got Saturn up there, so life has not been fair to him, and he's painfully critical of whatever it is he doesn't approve of. And what he didn't approve of was the revolution that was trying to happen then. He hated the hippies. The interesting thing about, there's a lot of interesting things about this chart. One of the interesting things about this chart is this Saturn is right on the United States midheaven. And actually it's a 1 degree 30 something. I round up, to so it can fit there. So it's in a what you call Aries point, and that's the first degree of all the cardinal signs. And those angles are where things start. Those degrees are where things start. Like I've said before, if you're going to do a chart for what's going on, like in spring, do a chart for the Aries ingress, when the sun goes into Aries. And for your area, or for the United States, or, if you want to do the weather, you do it for your area. Because it's going to rule the next 4 months. 3 months, sorry. So, and he's got 2 of these. He's got Saturn, and Saturn's exalted there, although it's retrograde in the 8th house. Not happy there. It's in good condition because it's trying this Venus. He's also got a Mercury, and his Mercury was what he used. He was a broadcaster. He was a man of great opinions, many opinions, very conservative opinions. The Mercury is in Capricorn, but it's also in an Aries point. And so his career of putting people down, his career in broadcasting started something. It was the beginning of a whole genre of on-air nastiness that we're still dealing with it in spades. So he's stingy. That moon there is sheer stinginess. It's in the 2nd house, and it feels deprived. That the moon is in Pisces, and it's in the degree of Markab, the fixed star, the degree of something to cry about, the degree of sorrow. And I think that he was incredibly unhappy with his personal situation and took it out on everybody else. Look, this Mercury is in opposition to Uranus, and that was his urge, his deep need to stir up trouble, to be contrary. And he's also got the Mars and the Venus in Aquarius, which are both contraries. So I was going to put the United States chart up here so we can kind of look at okay, let me move it over here so we can kind of see both of them, maybe. Good luck on that, right? Okay. Okay. Now, Limbaugh has this Venus. His Venus is right on the United States South Node. This is what he's doing is he's promoting our already profound contrary attitude to just about everything. We've got virtually nothing to settle us down. We've got no tradition of you know, people that have lived in an area for a long time have traditions about it. We have lost that. Even the native people, that has been disrupted in them incredibly. And so we don't really have anything to bring us together, to unify us. We have no traditions that unify us. We have mythology, and the mythology is proving to be distracting, and we're discovering that it's what it isn't even approaching the true history of the United States. So having his, what he loves to do, Venus is what you love, is to what he loved to do is screw with this south node. The nodes, as I probably mentioned before, the nodes are considered by the Hindu astrology, Jyotish, to be unsafe at any speed. They're both demonic and dangerous. And that is very true. My attitude toward the nodes is don't rest easily in that south node. Go work your north node, because if you don't work your north node, it will work you. And I was thinking about how we've got this Leo north node up there. And I think that Leo north node, that up there to me was the actor Leo, the murderous actor who killed Abraham Lincoln. And it's just, if you don't do your north node, like I say, it does bad things to you and for you. So anyway, his north node, Rush Limbaugh's north node, right there by the moon, was supposed to turn that into a compassionate, caring moon. But that moon is in opposition to the United States Neptune. And so I think that he was really disgusted with and disillusioned by our inability to utilize this Neptune, our properly utilize our Neptune. Well, you know, it's got this wonderful square, a waxing partile square to Mars, which makes us too busy to be a democracy. We're too busy taking over other people, exporting democracy abroad. At least that's what that's the myth we tell ourselves. That's the myth we tell ourselves about our Mars. So Limbaugh has got this disillusioned moon in opposition to our disillusioning lack of democracy. Neptune rules democracy, and we don't have a democracy. Take the Senate, for instance. The Senate is an incredibly undemocratic body. It is. The Senate is actually in the 5th house. It is not representative of the people. It is not representative. Some senators represent millions, and some represent the fortunate few. So we don't have a democracy. We aspire to it. And that's what makes us different, is that aspiration. But we don't live up to it, and I think Rush Limbaugh, it upset him. Yeah. Okay, so we talked about his moon. His Mars is conjunct the U.S. moon. His Mars is at 22 degrees Aquarius, and our moon is at 27 degrees Aquarius. And that's a conjunction, because it's the moon. His Uranus is conjunct the U.S. Jupiter. Where is Jupiter? Right there. That Uranus is conjunct our Jupiter. His moon is opposing the U.S. Mercury. I mean his sun, I'm sorry, his sun is opposing the U.S. Mercury. The sun is actually conjunct our Pluto, and he worked that the sun on our Pluto to promote conspiracy theories, which is our Pluto Mercury opposition, is our absolute love of conspiracy theories. I confess to loving them myself because I have a Mercury opposite Pluto like the United States does. So, the conspiracy theories give my paranoia a good excuse to run. So, what else does he have? Oh, and his south node is conjunct the U.S. Neptune. And so that's taken it personal. That's taken our inability to be a real democracy personal. I don't know what he died of. There's a lot of possibilities with that Uranus. But it was, whatever it was promoted by diet. Got an in conjunct to the Venus, who loves sweet things. So that's Rush Limbaugh. Okay, let's look at Rupert Murdoch. Now here's an interesting thing. Rupert Murdoch has a Venus at 6 degrees Aquarius, conjunct the U.S. South Node, just like Limbaugh did. His Mars-Pluto is right there, straddling our Mercury. His Jupiter is conjunct the U.S. Sun. His Sun is oh, here it is also conjunct Markab, which is actually at 23 degrees of Pisces, the fixed star, the degree of sorrow. So his Sun, which is down here in the fourth house. Maybe I should give you a tour of Rupert Murdoch, and even though I've done it before, this is his Mercury in Pisces, the Sun in Pisces, the Fortuna in Pisces, Uranus in Aries, North Node in Aries. Here's what's interesting. I've got Juno, and Juno's right down here in his fourth house. And so the faithless partner was, I think, apparent. Because it's right there. It's at the degree of sorrow. So there's some real loss that he sustained there. Anyway, let me move on. His Chiron is over here at 15 Taurus in the fifth house. So, making money is the way he expresses himself. It's his creative joy, is making money. He never felt that he was very valued for his own personal creativity. That would be the Chiron there. Here's his Jupiter. It's at 10. It's exalted. It's at 10 Cancer, which is right there in between our own Jupiter and the Sun. He's got Pluto and the Mars at 18 and 27. He's got Neptune at 4 Virgo, the South Node at 15 Libra, the Moon at 24 Sagittarius. He's got a square between the Sun and the Moon, that's that last square. He's a Moon phase 22. Get off your high horse and go do something for somebody else. Okay. And the Saturn, which is 21 Capricorn. And his ascendant is a 2 Capricorn, which is also it's square the U.S. midheaven, and it is a because it's one something. I rounded it up to 2. It's a Aries point. So he gets to start something. Why? He's got the power to do that. That's one thing about a moon phase 22, is they've got power. And because they're supposed to use that power to make a real difference, Pluto, over here, Pluto Mars, to do something to make a real difference in the people who are suffering at the bottom of the pole, the bottom of the pile, the least among us. And that's what a 22 needs to do, is to take all that expertise that they have developed and put it to use for someone else. And he doesn't. He's busy. He's a businessman, and that's what he's doing there. So his Uranus over here is opposite the U.S. Saturn. So and square the U.S. So his Uranus is works right in here to make a T-square with that. So he promotes the anguish that exists between the people of the United States and our government. We've never wanted to accept a government, any old government, even the nice showy government that we have. A Saturn in Libra is exalted. So he can use that Uranus to promote chaos, to start wars virtually. Rupert Murdoch owns Fox News, and they do his bidding, and the thing about a 22 is until they realize what they're supposed to do with that energy, with that power, they kind of run amok. Moon phase 22 is a phase of war until they're defeated virtually, and abdicate that high attitude of I am the king and I can do whatever I want to do, and go down and say, well, what can I do for other people? I don't know if he'll make it this lifetime, this guy. Anyway, that's Murdoch and Limbaugh. And what's interesting is that the United States, Murdoch and Limbaugh, all have as the elevated planet Neptune. And that means that all of these are guided by some ideal, some myth. And it also has to do with making movies and broadcasting. So that's when I discovered these Venuses, both of them have the Venus, both of them have the Neptune. When I discovered those Venuses, I was recalling a thing that George W. Bush said when somebody said, "Why are they attacking us?" And he said, "They hate us for our freedom." I thought, oh, God help us. But I think these people hate us. Murdoch and Limbaugh hate us for the fact that we don't use our freedoms to good purpose. We'd be so much richer if we were actually a democracy. All of us would be so much richer. Our country, and people who invested their money in this country would make a lot more money, because I think that when we actually become a democracy, we will be happy campers, and probably not so fat, but satisfied. I am hoping someday we can live up to and satisfy our Sun, our Mercury, our Venus, all in Cancer and insecure. The only thing we have secure in Cancer in the United States chart is Jupiter. That's the rich people. Jupiter exalted in Cancer, and they pretty much have run our government. So anyway, I don't think they hated us so much as they were disappointed in us. So I hope Rupert Murdoch comes to his senses. And Rush Limbaugh died of, I think he died of craziness. What was it said? Robert Penn Warren said, crazy person is only a real danger in a crazy society. Anyway, I pray you are well and staying well, and get your booster. I got mine. Take care. Love you. Bye-bye.